You're listening to the Culips English podcast. To download the study guide for this episode, which includes the transcript, detailed vocabulary explanations, real-world examples, and a quiz, visit our website, culips.com. Culips.com. Hey everybody, my name is Andrew.
And I'm Suzanne.
And you're listening to Culips. Welcome back to another edition of our Chatterbox series, the series where we have totally natural English conversations and we let you listen in. Today I'm joined by my co-host, Suzanne. Suzanne, how's it going?
Hi, Andrew. It's going well. Just relaxing this evening. Just finished watching a movie on Netflix, a French movie.
From France or from Quebec?
This movie was French from France. Olivier is from France, and we try to watch movies with actors that we recognize and we like from France. So yeah, it was really good.
We should say Olivier is your boyfriend, right?
Yeah. And now fiance.
Yeah, Suzanne, now fiance. We'll talk about that story maybe in an upcoming...
Yes, another podcast, another episode.
That's awesome. That's big news on your end. And actually, I also watched a movie on Netflix recently, just the other day.
Oh. And
it's called Marriage Story. Marriage Story. So it's kind of connected to fiancés. While I was watching this movie, it made me think about an experience that I had about meeting, or not necessarily meeting, but seeing one of the stars of this movie. So I thought today we could talk about meeting celebrities or running into celebrities in real life. So that's what will be the topic of today's Chatterbox episode, running into celebrities.
That sounds great.
Cool. But before we share our celebrity stories, I think we should remind all of our listeners that there's a study guide for this episode that includes a transcript, detailed vocabulary explanations of some of the key vocabulary that we'll use here today. There's also examples and quiz and prompts for speaking or journaling practice. So if you'd like to study along with the study guides, and we highly recommend that you do, just visit our website, culips.com, and you can download it. All right. So, Suzanne, I told you that I watched this movie, Marriage Story, recently.
Yeah.
It's getting a lot of buzz these days. I've seen a lot of people talking about it online, and also many of my friends have watched it. I was surprised to find out that a lot of my friends have already seen this movie. I think it's getting promoted pretty heavily by Netflix. Like, when you log into Netflix, it's the key movie that's the kind of preview that you see when you log in. So a lot of people are probably just clicking on it right away.
Yeah, it's true.
It's directed by Noah Baumbach, who's a pretty cool director, and it stars Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver. And my celebrity story is about Adam Driver. Do you know this actor, Suzanne?
Yeah, I do. And one of my favorite things that he's done is Star Wars.
Yeah, he was in Star Wars, and he was also on the HBO TV show Girls. And I think
Girls, yeah.
I think this is where I first saw him, was on this TV show Girls. He's kind of an aloof, hip, young 20s creative guy. I think he's kind of stereotyped as this type of actor in a lot of his roles.
Okay.
Not necessarily in Star Wars though, so I guess he's got more depth to his acting than that. Anyways, I met Adam Driver one time, and I would like to share this story with everyone. So actually, I was in Canada, visiting Canada, and I was flying back to Korea. This was last year. And when I arrived at the airport in Incheon, which is the name of the airport here in Seoul.
Okay.
I came out of the airport into the arrivals section, and I was just exiting the airport to catch the bus to go back to my apartment. And when I came out of the arrivals door, you know, where all of the people are kind of waiting for their friends and family members to arrive, this section in the airport, there was Adam Driver. He was just standing there. And, you know, when you...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was a little bit surprising to me because even though you're at an international airport, when you're in South Korea, most of the people are Koreans. So you kind of stand out as a foreigner. So he's very tall too, and he's got longer hair. Like he definitely looks different than most Koreans. So I was really shocked that he was just standing right there. And so he noticed that I was kind of staring at him, kind of starstruck. You know, when you see somebody famous like that, you're a little bit starstruck, right? You're like, where do I know you from? Are we friends?
Confused and shocked and
exactly
overwhelmed and excited all at the same time.
Exactly. So I was kind of like looking at him, and he was like, hey, dude. He said to me, hey, dude, because I don't know, maybe he gets this often, I imagine.
That's cool.
And he
said, hey, dude.
Yeah, he said, hey, dude. And I was like, oh, hey, I didn't want to bother him. I'm not going to ask him for like an autograph or anything. But he was actually trying to leave Korea, and he went to the wrong area of the airport. So that's why he was on the arrivals floor instead of the departures. And I found out later that he was in Korea to promote Star Wars when that launched. I guess a year or two ago. I can't exactly remember. Recently, though. And it was really cool to see him in real life. And it was also surprising to me that nobody knew who he was. There was no fans around, even though he's in a big TV show and a big movie like Star Wars. Nobody recognized him. And B, he was all alone. I would have thought that he would have had a manager or an assistant or someone to sort of guide him to the right area of the airport, but he was just by himself. So yeah, that's cool. Maybe he doesn't like the celebrity lifestyle, you know, having somebody help him around doing everything. I'm not sure.
Yeah, like a security person, you mean, or something like that?
Yeah, because you think of a big movie star would have, you know, a manager or something at least to kind of guide you through a foreign airport, but he seemed to be all on his own, doing it his own way. Yeah, so that's my recent celebrity encounter with Adam Driver.
That is really cool, and that's like a really current popular actor. So that's super cool.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Suzanne? Have you ever had a run-in with a celebrity?
Yeah, well, I actually went to college with a lot of actors and a bunch of actors that are now famous and are celebrities. So I have some celebrity friends, I guess, that I don't really think of them as celebrities. They're just my friends. But then when I talk about them, people are like, wait, do you mean the blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, yeah. And it's just weird because it's like we've known each other since we were like 17, 18 years old.
Right.
So it's kind of, you know, to me, they're just my friend. And I support and love their work and admire their work. But I don't have a starstruck feeling because I know them deeply. I know them intimately.
Right. As individuals, not just as celebrities.
Yes, exactly. I know them first as friends.
Right.
So one of my closest friends who I've known for a long time and who is also in like sci-fi stuff is my friend Zachary Quinto. And he is, he plays Spock in the new Star Trek movies and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's also done a lot of films, and he has that new TV show out. I think it's on AMC.
Okay.
And it's Nosferatu or something like that.
Okay.
And he plays like an old man and then a young man, like vampire something or other. I'm not sure. I have to check it out because I don't actually have AMC.
AMC is the name of the TV channel.
Network, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's a great actor, and he is really so good at not just acting, but producing. And he has like a production company as well. So he produces a lot of projects. Wow. Independent projects.
Yeah, he's a really popular actor. I'm a little shocked. I didn't know that you guys were buddies. That's awesome. Because he's been in a lot of movies and is really, quite popular. That's cool. Suzanne, you should get him onto the show to do an interview with. I need to do an
interview with. I'll ask him. I'll totally ask him. I'll see what he thinks. I actually, we've been talking about having him come visit me in Montreal soon. So maybe we'll see. Yeah, that'd be so cool.
That would be cool.
He is a really good friend, and we've done some acting together, as well, like in school and stuff. And I did a voiceover project. Actually, I think it was our second year of our master's. Andrew, he was producing a movie called The Most Violent Year.
Okay.
And I was a character in that movie, but I was a voice. You never see me. I'm just the voice of a dispatch woman named Kathy, who's actually like throughout a lot of the film, but you don't ever see me.
But we can hear your voice.
Yeah, it's funny because I like do a lot of voice acting. So he was like, "Would you do this like super fast?" But I had to do like a Brooklyn accent, and it was fun.
Okay, so listeners, if you want to hear Suzanne's voice in a movie, then you can check out this movie, A Most Violent Year. I actually haven't seen this, but I just Googled it, and it has a 90% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which means it's pretty good. This means a lot of people like the movie. So, wow, I didn't know. I'm going to check this out, Suzanne. Now I have a plan for the weekend.
Zach is also a great person. Like, he's super, super nice. So he's done a lot of stage work as well on Broadway. And when I've gone to see him on Broadway, I've also been able to go backstage. And whenever we exit the stage door, people will be like, Zach, and they ask him, for pictures or autographs. And he's super cool. He's like, hey, man, give me your phone. Let's take a selfie. Like, he's super nice. So, it's not easy because you're giving a lot while you're on stage, and then you have to, also kind of be on,
right,
as they say.
Yeah, you can't really, be rude to your fans, or if you're having a bad day, you still have to be, positive and smile and give people your time, even though you might be really tired after performing.
I find he does a really good job with still taking care of himself as a person, but still being a really kind and present person to his fans. And he also has a really cute dog named Skunk.
Okay. Is it a stinky dog?
No, I don't know why he's named Skunk. I think he's just black and white.
Okay.
But he's just so funny. He has like a really funny personality.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think I would be starstruck if I ever saw Meryl Streep in person. I think I would probably like freak out and like cry maybe or not know what to do if I ever see her.
Okay.
But for the most part, other than like someone like her, I have seen other actors on the streets in New York.
Okay.
For example, when I was just recently there, I saw a play with Mary Louise Parker.
Oh, okay.
And her theater was right next to the apartment that I was staying at. And on her break, I saw her outside with her sunglasses on, having her water bottle and walking her dog. And I saw her play actually that night. And then I was like watching her leave the theater and I wanted to be like, hey, that was so great. Like, thank you. That was awesome. But I felt dumb. Okay. She was with friends. So I didn't bother her, but I didn't feel starstruck. I just felt like I wanted to be like, thank you. That was so good. Like, yes, thank you so much for your performance and your work, you know?
Right,
but
right.
I didn't.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
I've had a couple of experiences where I've seen musicians that I really respect.
Yeah.
But I'm always too afraid to talk to people because I know that I'll have nothing to say. Like, we know so much about their lives, celebrity lives, and they've made such a big impact on us. But, you know, they don't know us. We're complete strangers to them. So it's kind of weird. I remember when I was maybe 18 or 19, I went to a concert to see the band U2 play, or the big internationally famous rock group from Ireland, U2. And my friends and I were driving by the stadium several hours before the show, and the group and the band just happened to be hanging out outside. I don't know why they were there, but we saw them and we went over to them to go meet U2. We were all big U2 fans. And then we kind of got too nervous and didn't go and talk to them because I don't know why, but it would have just been a little bit weird to be like, hey guys, we're big fans. We love your music.
Yeah.
And at that time, I don't think we had smartphones, so we couldn't really have taken a selfie or anything. This was maybe in the year 2001 or maybe the year 2000, so almost 20 years ago. Oh my gosh. But it was cool to see them, but I didn't feel the need to, you know, introduce myself to them. And I had a similar experience also with the indie musician Kurt Weill. Kurt Weill was actually at one of my band's shows when we played a concert in Montreal. And
oh, wow.
I saw him outside of the venue after the show. And I was like, hey, Kurt Weill. I kind of said that to him, you know, like, oh, hey. And I was hoping that he would be like, oh, I liked your set, or cool show, man, or something like that.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything. So then I was like, oh, he didn't like my band. But
he probably just wasn't even paying attention to like who you might have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean he doesn't like your band.
It looked like he had been partying hard that night. Let's just say that. Yeah. So I don't think he was really paying too much attention to the music. But yeah, that was another kind of celebrity encounter that I've had. Not that Kurt Weill is a huge international star or anything, but he's pretty respected in the indie music community in the States and in North America, at least. Oh, yeah. I think, honestly, I have a weird thing. Like, I don't know what to do sometimes. For example, so like one time I got to go to see a taping of Saturday Night Live with Zach. Nice. And yeah. And then afterwards we went. Oh, no way. Did you go to the SNL party? No, we didn't go to the party, but we did go backstage and hang out. Whoa. It was John Krasinski was the guest. No way. From The Office. Yep. And it was super fun. That was really cool. Whoa. And crazy. I was like, what's happening? Because I was like, I love like Maya Rudolph and everybody. I was like gonna like freak out. To me, that would be one of the most nerve-wracking situations, hanging out with a bunch of funny celebrities, because I would feel like I have to be, you know, if I want to hang out with them, then I would have to be on and be entertaining because they're so funny and entertaining themselves, right?
Yep.
But that's,
oh my gosh,
that's an awesome experience, going behind the scenes backstage at SNL, Saturday Night Live.
I was so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I was so overwhelmed. I mean, I did not know what to do.
Wow. Legendary.
That's like a dream. Yeah. My friend Lynne is also pretty famous actress, but she's cool because she stays kind of under the radar, but she is doing great acting, great work. Fun fact, she was or is in the series like the Unabomber, and she plays the linguist who like discovers the Unabomber.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah.
Cool. I didn't know there was a Unabomber series out there.
You should totally Google that. I think it was on Netflix.
Cool. I'll check it out. I love that Unabomber story. It's, even though it's very dark and sad real life event, it's interesting history.
It's really cool how you can actually find a criminal through the language that they use, right? The kinds of words that they use more often.
And the Unabomber was a very unique individual, I guess we could say.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of very educated and had a unique writing style.
Yeah. Well, she was doing a movie or a play with Ethan Hawke.
A-lister.
It was the Oscar party. Yeah, it was an Oscar party like maybe about 8 years ago.
Okay.
In New York. And we went to an Oscar party at his house.
Whoa.
Okay. His apartment in New York.
Whoa.
And I get there and there he is. And he shakes my hand and he's like, "Hey, I'm Ethan. What's your name?" And I'm like, "Sue." And I'm like, yeah, I know who you are. You don't have to introduce yourself. But I mean, like, that's what you do. So like even celebrities use the common introduction in English of like, "Hey, I'm Andrew. How are you? What's your name?"
Right.
Like
right.
that's a normal introduction for everyone.
Right.
But when you're a well-known celebrity, it's kind of funny because you're like, "Yeah, hello, everybody knows you."
Right.
But it's just common sense. That's how you would introduce yourself. So he was so nice. I mean, I can't even begin to say the hospitality was just really, really, really kind. He had lots of food. He was making sure that we all had drinks and food and we're comfortable and
wow,
like had pillows on the ground and blankets and
awesome.
Like just so kind, really.
Sue, your celebrity stories are so much better than mine.
Oh my gosh, no. It's just that I was in that world all the time in New York City, for example. And so I was always around. And when you're in that world at a certain caliber, it's a small world. You can go to one party and you're like, "Oh my gosh, there's all those people that are famous," because it's not a major big world. It's pretty small.
Kind of have a similar experience with the music community in Canada. You're either friends with or friends of a friend with almost everybody in the music scene once you get to a certain level. So even some people that would be considered celebrities aren't really celebrities to you. They're just kind of your friends or your friends' friends. They're acquaintances. And it kind of destroys that barrier between celebrity and non-celebrity. And I'm sure that the acting world and Hollywood is kind of the same way, right? At the end of the day, it is a very small club. And once you're inside the club, then you're kind of equal with everyone to an extent. Yeah.
I mean, I think what's so interesting is like, for example, at like the Ethan Hawke hangout, like at his place, he didn't act like he was a celebrity and I wasn't. He was like, "I'm a human and you're a new possible friend and you're friends with my friend. So you're awesome too." There's no like level,
Right.
One of my friends was dating Keanu Reeves.
Whoa.
And yeah, right. And I was doing a play off Broadway at the time. And after my performance, we all went out to dinner. And he was like sitting with me for like an hour.
Whoa.
He was asking me all about my process and like what I did to prepare and my character and like.
Process meaning your acting process, right?
My acting process. And I was just like kind of in awe. Like, why are you asking me this? Because you're the famous actor. Like me, I'm just like random girl doing a play off Broadway. Like it's not as big of a deal as you, but it's like we're all artists,
right?
You know, like he didn't see it as better or worse or more famous or not. He was just interested in the art and in the craft. And that's so cool, you know, when you realize we're all just doing the best we can to be artists and work on a craft. And so brainstorming and sharing ideas and processes is such a great opportunity and such a privilege. So yeah, that was a crazy dinner. I remember being like, what?
I think I'd be pretty starstruck in that situation, but that's really cool that you've had all of these experiences to meet some really high level actors. That's great.
Totally. Yeah, he was also extremely kind, I have to say. I've never met I've only met really nice celebrities, not a lot, but the only ones that I've met have been very kind and generous.
He is famous for being nice, right? He's like a famous Hollywood nice guy. People say that about Keanu Reeves all the time, that he's just a really down-to-earth, normal guy that just happens to be a huge movie star at the same time.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I have heard that. Yeah.
Sue, I think we'll wrap it up here. This was a really fun episode to get to listen to your stories. Man, I was kind of wondering, who should I talk to this topic about? Should I talk about it with Jeremy or Morag or Sue? And I'm glad that I chose you because I bet you have the best celebrity stories from the Culips team. So
just been in that world more, maybe. That's all.
That's all. Thank you again to everyone for listening. And if you want to get the study guide for this episode, just visit culips.com to do that. We're also everywhere on social media, on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. So if you like using those social media platforms, check us out and give us a follow on them. It'd also be great, guys, if you could leave us a 5-star ranking and a nice review wherever you listen to your podcasts. This will help other listeners find Culips and study with us. We would really appreciate it if you could do that for us. We'll be back soon with another brand new episode, and we will talk to you then. Bye.
Bye.